My name's Pam Robinson and I've worked at Arataki for 25 years as a visitor services representative, but I want to share with you this special place. Arataki is a special place. It's the gateway to the Waitākere Ranges. It's where people come for lots of information on tracks and walks and what to do and what to see. It's a really special place and it gives people a chance for an introduction to the Waitākere Ranges. This is Auckland's best kept secret. We've got 1.5 million people sitting on our back doorstep, and the number of times I've heard people walk in and go, wow, I didn't even know this place existed. My main focus for our visitors, Manahere, was showing them places they can go in the park. The park's 16,500 hectares, and so it's a large park. There's lots of beautiful areas that people can go and visit. There's beaches, waterfalls, beautiful tracks, wild west coastline. So my role was to make sure that people enjoyed themselves in the park, that they got the best experience they could have, because a lot of our visitors often are short stop visitors. They may only be coming to this park once, and I wanted them to go away with the best vision of the park and the people who work in it, and to have a really enjoyable visit. When I first started, there were no cell phones, there were no fancy communication devices, GPSs, and we had 240 kilometres of tracks. So a lot of my job was sharing the tracks with people, making sure they stayed safe, and also helping out when they got navigationally embarrassed or lost or had an accident in the park. And so the role has changed over the years, and so we used to do fires, search and rescues, things like that. I've always been a tramper, and I've tramped in the ranges for over 40 years. Because I had walked in the Waitākere Ranges for a long time, I knew virtually every track in the park. I'd walked it several times. I had a picture in my head of the physical aspect of most of the tracks in the park. So if somebody rang up, I had an idea of physically where they were. So it helped me to be able to redirect our staff and emergency services to situations that I knew exactly where the people were and the situation they were in. We're on the Mercer Bay Loop Walk. This is one of the most spectacular walks out west. It's the highest sea cliffs in Auckland, and the view is absolutely amazing. It starts at the top of Log Race Road, it comes down, you get these beautiful views of the wild west coast. You're looking towards Karekare, and way down south is Wharapu, so you've got the Wharapu accretion lands. It's a big sand delta that's gradually building up over the years. I've known it 40 plus years, and it's an amazing area how it's changed. Karekare Point used to be tide dependent. It hasn't been tide dependent for 10 plus years, and that means that Karekare Point's buried in about 10 metres of sand that's come north. So it's pretty spectacular. So this is the wild west coast at its best. Beautiful day, amazing scenery. It's such a dynamic and changing and exciting coastline. The view's different wherever you go, wherever you look. It depends on the weather. You can be out here in a beautiful fine day, you can be out here in the middle of winter in a howling southerly, in the rain, in the mist, but it's a totally different area. It's special at all times of the year and in all types of weather. So this is Hinerangi. She was from Te Kawaramaki, and her husband had gone fishing, and she was sitting on the cliff edge waiting for him to come back. He never returned. So Hinerangi sat on the cliff edge and eventually turned to stone. If you look slightly north, provided the sun is in the right place, you can see a profile of Hinerangi's face in the cliff. I've probably walked this track maybe 50, 100 times. It's one of my favourite go-to places. It's a nice short walk. It gives you a good workout, because when you continue round from the second lookout and you go inland about 100 metres, you'll find the other side of the loop, which goes back up to log race road to the car park. It's a nice steady plod all the way up the hill, so it gives you a good workout. I've got to admit the Pararaha is the top of my list in the Waitākere Ranges for my special place. It's halfway between Karekare and Wharapu. It's an amazing area. It has such a dynamic landscape. You feel as if you're away from Auckland and you may see nobody else when you're up there. I've been fortunate enough to fly along here in a helicopter, and when you see the expanse that's there from the air, it's just mind-blowing. It's a huge wetland area and it's environmentally very special because it supports so many ecosystems, and it's a refuge for birds and invertebrates and all sorts of wonderful things that get themselves established in here. It's one of the few places that you can get into a wild and isolated area that you feel as if you're miles away from anywhere. There's no houses, there's no structures, there's often no people, and you can sit up here, listen to the wind and the trees and the river running down the valley below you, and it's an amazingly special place. It's got wonderful flora and the dramatic cliffs and the nikau, and it's got a beautiful campsite. It's a great place to bring kids for their first overnight camp. The Pararaha stream that is below us here is a beautiful stream. I was absolutely ecstatic when I got the job at Arataki. It was something that I'd always aspired to do. I'd worked hard to try and make sure that I was able to put my best foot forward, and also I'd walked in here for a long time. I knew all the tracks. I'd volunteered on some of the guided walks that the park used to do, and so when I was offered the position I felt very, very privileged. There are so many special places to go, and it's been a privilege to spend time with people sharing the park, teaching them how to be safe, and all the secret little spaces that we've visited over the years.